Alright, good morning guys. My name is Jared and I'm going to show you, the alpha testing of my game. So any comments or feedbacks you guys have, that would be greatly appreciated. So as you can see, if you saw my first version of the game, I added a little bit more to it. I made the map bigger. Someone commented about terrain and possibly having it be a factor in the game. So I did. I kind of put an area here in the middle with water. So, they can't enter that area. So they kind of got to circumvent it. I tried to create a game that's, kind of a mix between my favorite games, which is chess, Warcraft, and a little bit of Risk. So, like a real-time strategy on a board game, and kind of put them all together. So the basic point of the game is to destroy your enemies. So each person is going to have a base in either corner. And the nice thing about it is you can do, 1v1, you can do 2v2, or every man for themselves. So however you want to split the game up in the beginning. So the point of the game is to summon units, inside your base and get them into the opponent's base. And right now I have a limit of 20, so depending on how the game plays out when you start playing it, it might need to be lower or higher. So each team basically has two type of units that you can summon, and I'll show you about summoning, which is rolling the dice later on and moving your pieces. But you have a basic unit for attack, which you can move. This one's a little elf. I'm going to have each corner is going to have a different race: human, elf, orc. But this is the basic one. They all look the same. And then you have an advanced unit. Most of them are going to be mounted on some kind of mount, so they are going to be a stronger unit than the basics. And then you're going to have defense barriers. These are still in development, so go ahead and laugh if you'd like. So you've got two different ones. Again, just like the units, you've got a basic defense, and then you have a strong defense. So basic one is just like a little wooden wall here that you're going to be placing around the board, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you've got your strong defense here, which is obviously brick wall, so it's stronger than the wooden one, and I'll probably end up changing those before the end. So basically, you start out. You need a 6-sided dice. So this guy right here, and in order to summon your units. Now, once the units are in play, certain units will destroy other ones. There's a lot of strategy involved. Are you going to defend your base more? Are you going to build up an army and then attack? Where do you place your units? Do you keep some back to defend? So it's going to have some strategy involved. The basic summoning is going to be very easy to understand. But when they are going towards each other, so the basic units, this is just a quick lowdown of what destroys what. Basic units, if they come in contact with an enemy basic unit, they both die. Now, if an enemy has a basic wall here, and basic unit goes into their basic defense, they both die. So that's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now the heavier units, these will kill both basic units and basic defense. However, heavy, obviously, or heavy or advanced, whatever you like to call them, kill each other. And then, of course, the defense walls, heavy defense kills the heavy units, and the walls die as well. So it's kind of like for like in the game. But if a heavy unit runs into a basic one, then obviously just the basic dies. So you got to kind of try to determine, move your pieces away. Obviously, if the stronger unit's coming towards, kind of circumvent and try to go around. Now, in order to get into the bases, there's a couple ways to do it. So let's say this is your starting base and you're trying to get into this guy here. You have your basic unit who is right at the door. There's obviously a wall around it. So once the basic unit reaches the wall, you remove the unit and you put on this little ladder piece. So the little ladder piece goes over the wall. Now this shows that wall can now be circumvented. You can go over the wall with your pieces until they remove it. And removing it, they have to use 4 dice points in order to remove it. And I'm going to get into the points and how to summon and how to remove things in just a second. Now, once that's removed, obviously the wall's back there, so you have to get one of your units there again to reapply the ladder. Now, if you get one of your heavy units, one of the little mounted guys, to an enemy base, and they reach the wall, then what you do is take a terrain piece, which looks just like obviously any terrain here. There's extra ones. You remove this guy. Now, they don't do damage to the base yet. You have to remove it. Now, the terrain piece goes over, so basically it's like the wall was destroyed. It's not there. units are free to go in and out, and they cannot remove that piece. So that's a permanent destroy. Obviously, they can't put defense around it. So if they roll, they can kind of build a little wall in order to kind of protect it from your units coming in. But again, that can be destroyed as well. So it's only temporary. Okay, so summoning pieces. This is where the dice comes in. There's going to be multiple moves that you can do with the dice. The basic units here are 2 dice points. The basic wall, just a wooden one, 1 dice point. Advanced, 6 dice points. And then the advanced wall, again, is 6 dice points. So let's say we're going to start off in this base here. So this is going to be our base. We're just trying to get out to the board that way. You're going to roll the dice. So you have 2. Now you've got an option. When you summon an attack unit, it has to be inside your base. So I can summon one of these. So you can put that out. And then it's the next person's turn. So the next person goes, they roll, and they decide what they want to do. So when it comes back to my turn, you roll again. You have a 3. So with this one, you can summon, maybe you want to summon a basic defense, and this defense unit can only be placed on your quarter of the board. I forgot to mention that. So obviously you can't, put a defense unit in someone else's territory. So maybe I want to block off this area from this enemy trying to attack me. So I can put in a wall right here. So it's 3, so that's 1 unit. So now I can still summon another attack unit. So summon another guy right here in my base to get ready to go out. Okay, so I'm going to roll the dice again. So everyone goes, they decide if they want to summon units or they want to defend their base. I get a 1. That's kind of a terrible roll. So the only thing obviously that you can do with 1 is summon another basic defense. So I'm going to try to block this guy off from coming my way. Everybody else goes. It's my turn. I'm going to roll again. A 3. So now let's say once these are full, you can only have 4 guys in your base at once. So you got to move them out before you can do it. So let's say you get a 3. Your base is full. You've summoned your units here, and you get a 3. So now you can only go out the front of the back. These are the sides. Obviously, the little doors are in the front and the back. If you want to call those doors, that's probably not, but that's what I'm using them as. So I rolled a 3. My base is full. Now, instead of summoning a defense, I can move my units. So I'm going to take my basic unit and move it 1, 2, and it can be split, and then move this guy 3 and start moving him out of my base. So now you got to kind of set up where you want your attack. So there's a 6. Good thing I moved him because now I can summon the heavy units or heavy defense. I mean, 6, I haven't developed a real strategy yet. Obviously, it hasn't been played, but you probably want to use the 6 with one of the heavy units just because they are the strongest ones. Now, if your base is full when you roll it, unfortunately, you can't summon them. You got to move your units out before you can do that. So 6 does take up a full, you got to use all 6 points in order to summon. So once you summon, you're done. You have to use your heavy unit there. Next person's turn. Comes back around. So as you guys can see, now I have a 5. Now I need to start moving all my units out and kind of getting into attack position. So 1, 2, 3. Move them here, and then move this guy 4, 5. So as you can see, you're kind of moving them out toward your enemies. And of course, they're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be setting up defenses. They're going to be having a whole lot of units ready to counter what you do. So, you've kind of got to, make a strategy on how you're going to defend and how you're going to attack. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. So let's say, let's say this guy's got some defense set up here. You got 2 weak defenses. You got a strong one by the base. I'm just kind of playing around. Let's put some. Now these are the same characters because they're the only ones I have built. I'm just going to use them. So let's say he's got some basic units here and a strong unit here. So we're going to do like a little battle real quicker. That will go in gameplay. So these guys are moving up. They can't move diagonally. You'll read that in the rules as well. Let's move these guys toward his base. Okay, so we're assaulting this guy. He's kind of got his defense set up. So I'm going to roll. So now I can move 4. Now what I want to do is kind of attack these basic defense with the heavy character, because obviously this heavy advance unit will destroy him no matter what. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you kind of move him up there. Put this guy back over here. Let me go again. So he goes, he sets up defense, whatever he wants to do. I roll again. I get a 1, so I can move this up 1. This is my heavy unit. Remove that defense, because obviously it kills it. It's just this basic defense, so gone off the board. Now let's say he wants to move up and defend. He's going to roll. Well, I could have terrible rolls. Look at that, 1 and 1 and 1. That does not make the game very interesting. So he's going to move his basic defense, his basic attack up to mine. They're both basic. They're both the 2-pointers, so they're removed from the board. He's kind of defending, trying to remove my pieces. So I'm going to roll again. 6, good roll. Now, instead of advancing my units, if I roll a 6, I can summon either a heavy defense unit back at my base, or maybe another heavy attack unit, which would probably be the smart thing to do. So you can summon him, and then have him get ready to advance or defend if someone else is coming to attack your base. Okay, so let's speed it up a little bit. His basic, let's say, this basic defense goes into this basic wall. They both die. Gone. Removed. Now, they can just be resummoned. They're just removed from play when you roll the dice. You just resummon them in your base, so they're not gone for good. You can just keep summoning units as you go. Heavy defense unit hits into the heavy attack unit hits into the heavy defense. They both die. Now this guy. So let's say they're removed, and my 2 basic units are attacking their base now. So let's go here. Okay, so let's say we want to get into their base. I roll a 2. So this guy's going to move up to their wall. He's at it, so you can remove him and put a ladder on. Bam. So now it's vulnerable. Now I can get this basic unit in there. He goes. Now to remove the ladder, the defending player has to roll a 4. 4 dice points. So it has to be a 4, 5, or 6. So he rolled a 4. He could remove the ladder. If he rolls a 1, 2, or 3, he can't. He can summon units, as the usual process. So once he doesn't roll, it's my turn again. A 1. See, look at that. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything with the 1. Let's try again. A 1. This is my luck. This is why I don't go to the casinos. Okay, a 3. So I still can't get in there. So let's say I roll a 4 more. Because the ladder's there, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. In his base, remove his unit. So his base takes 1 health. So again, it starts out at 20, and now it's going to go to 19. So the objective is to get all your attacking units in his base. So let's say he rolls a 4, 4, 5, 6. He removes the ladder. His base is once again protected until you get another unit up there to put a ladder up. This guy is the advanced unit. So let's say you get the advanced unit to the base. Boom. Take out his wall. It's gone. So now you've got open terrain right there. So you can basically freely enter his base with your units, and he cannot fix it. So you have units coming to attack. Yeah. Roll the dice. Get a 4. Boom. 1. Takes damage going down. Get him in there. Boom. Takes damage going down. So as you can see, as the game progresses, bases are going to get weaker. Once they get to 0, that player's out of the game, and basically it's last player wins. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Let me see. Yeah, I think so. If you guys have any questions, or if you see any feedback, anything that I can fix or improve, that would be greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to looking at your guys' games and giving you feedback as well. Thanks.